on page 39, he has a very good example of economic progress, the three kind of essential pieces of it. So he said, so the first one, I'll give the list, then I'll kind of explain them. So entrepreneurs is number one. Number two is savers. These aren't in any order. And number three is the technologists. So of course, the entrepreneurs are the ones who employ capital goods made available by the savers for the most economically for the most economic satisfaction of the most urgent among the not yet satisfied wants of the consumers. And then, of course, the technologists are the ones who are the inventors, as well as they work on the efficiency of processes. So this three-way tag team is very important. You need, of course, money. You need capital goods. You need someone with money to then lend, and this is how it often happens. And people who are very anti-business, of course, these people probably never worked in a business or certainly never ran a business. Entrepreneurs tend to take loans out to take a risk, and it's not an easy world in a free market, and even in a freer market, it'll be even more difficult to do well because of the competition. But still, that's a very good thing for civilization and consumers, of course. But you need the savers to save the money to then lend to entrepreneurs who have a good idea, and the entrepreneurs, of course, then put that money into use by purchasing factory or equipment, whatever it might be, and of course that equipment and the process. So a chemical process. If you're mixing a drink, for example, you have this new idea for a new kind of pop or soda. The entrepreneur would then use a technologist who would be an expert in food chemistry or whatever it might be, and then that process would be put into a factory setting by an entrepreneur who then would sell it, right, and try to make money on it. So that three-way tag team, of course, is needed. And of course, when you look at the kinds of things that harm either of those three things, whether you're harming the technologists by having restricted access to progress or restricted access to those who are allowed to invent or those who are allowed to write on various ideas. Of course, the extreme of this being some kind of Ministry of Progress like in 1984. Restrictions on the savers, of course, through taxes or through they're not allowed to save a certain amount of money. They're not allowed to make money, or they're capped in their income, that kind of thing. And of course, restrictions on entrepreneurs just in terms of regulations or various areas of business they're not able to access because of regulations, which happens quite a bit in terms of monopolies set up by regulations that favor certain businesses over others so that other businesses can't compete. So that obviously is a problem for entrepreneurs. So anyways, I thought these three items are very important. And again, I think you can, when you look at various policies that are being talked about by people like Trump or Bernie Sanders or whoever it might be, you can see how they might affect these three things and might damage economic progress.